This Bigfoot evidence comes from a long time ago, but what it means is very scary. A hiker on Silver Star Mountain, a lonely peak in southwest Washington, took pictures in 2005 that would later be called the Silver Star Bigfoot photos. These pictures didn't go viral right away. Instead, they spread quietly through groups of hikers and people who are interested in the paranormal, before becoming more widely known and disturbing. Over time, they've become one of the most scary mountain silhouette cases ever recorded. The photographer wasn't looking for anything bad. They were just taking pictures of the frozen wilderness where snowy ridges went on forever. While they were alone on that hike, they saw a single person crossing a snowfield far below. The mountain was far away. The snow was impossibly deep. They took a lot of pictures, but not out of curiosity. At first, they thought it was just another hiker. But later, when they zoomed in from a safe distance, they saw that something was very wrong. The figure looked huge, stood up straight, and moved with unnaturally long strides through conditions that no human should be able to survive. The place's remoteness and harsh weather made the mystery even deeper. What would be out there if you didn't have any snow gear, a backpack, or any other survival gear? You'd just be walking through that frozen wasteland. The pictures show a dark, huge shape moving across a wide, empty slope below the ridge. No trail that can be seen. There are no other souls around. The figure looks like it has a thick body and shoulders that are too wide, and its stride makes it look like it is much stronger than a person. At a distance, it looks more like a shadow than a creature, but that shadow is what investigators are most afraid of. We still don't know what the Silver Star Mountain photos mean. They aren't crystal clear, but you can't ignore them. The combination of beautiful emptiness, creeping dread, and that lone figure has kept these pictures alive in Bigfoot talks for almost 20 years. They remind us that some mountains hide things that watch us from the cold.
The dog is looking in its direction at the beginning of the video in the upper left corner of the video frame.
In the eastern Sierras, at 10,000 feet where the air gets thin and civilization fades away, something watches from the trees. A video that would scare the Bigfoot research community came out on July 28, 2025. A scared witness sent the footage to Rocky Mountain Sasquatch. It shows something that shouldn't exist. Bigfoot watching my dog play in the eastern Sierras back in May is a very simple story from the man. He was just filming his dogs playing in the woods to remember a happy time. Instead, his camera caught a nightmare.
The dog is looking in its direction at the beginning of the video in the upper left corner of the video frame.
A huge figure moves with predatory grace in the background, partly hidden by mountain plants. Dark fur ripples across its body. It's not clothing. It's thick, natural fur that covers something old and powerful. One of the dogs sees it right away. It stops playing, freezes, and stares straight at the creature. The animal watches the figure glide past in a way that makes it feel uneasy, then goes back to playing, as if it has accepted some kind of primal hierarchy, recognizing an apex predator and choosing to submit instead of fight. The witness's words are full of horror. It's clear that this creature has dark fur. It looks very natural. I believe this is the real thing. Rocky Mountain Sasquatch's investigation shows even more disturbing things. The figure has the domed skull that many people have seen before. But the most scary thing is how it moves, too smoothly and easily for anyone. There is no bounce up and down, and there is no way for a person to walk. It moves through the forest like it was made for those mountains, perfectly suited to terrain that would wear out anyone. For hundreds of years, the Sierra Nevada range has kept these secrets. Long before the word Bigfoot became popular in the United States, Native American tribes talked about huge, hairy beings living in the mountains. These beings were said to be forest guardians, evil tricksters, and dangerous wild men who claimed the peaks as their home. These weren't just stories that happened once. Across generations and tribes, stories came out of different places and times. The fact that they keep happening is scary. These encounters really happened. There has always been something in those mountains that watches and waits, sometimes showing itself to people who go too far into its territory. This video adds to that old, scary story. The Sierras are hiding something. Something that watches from the dark, something that's always been there. This might be the most disturbing footage of Bigfoot ever. It was first recorded in July 2023, but it has been hidden from the public eye, buried under less credible sightings. This needs a lot more attention. First, watch the original video. Then, I'll slow down the video, zoom in, and show you the full creepy backstory so you can see what was really going on in those woods. The exact location is still unknown, intentionally kept secret. The man who filmed it says he was deep in a secluded forest path with thick trees on both sides that made it hard to breathe. The best place to hunt for something that doesn't want to be found. He started recording because he thought it was a bear at first, but as he looked through his lens, he started to feel scared. This wasn't a bear. The shape was too human-like and too planned. It crouches still in the brush and watches him. Then, when it realizes it's been seen, it stands up straight and walks away on two legs with steps that look like those of a person. This is not how bears move. This isn't how bears are made. It had been sitting there the whole time, perfectly still and hidden, waiting. It only went back into the dark when it was in danger. When you zoom in, you can see that the fur is tightly wrapped around its huge body. This shows that it is made of living muscle and sinew, not fabric. This is not a costume. Its body is thick, heavy, and strong, giving off raw power. Shoulders that are classic and wide, a head with a dome shape, the biology of something old. When it turns to run away, its arm swings in that unmistakable patty-style way. Fluid, natural, and not human. Is this the best video of Bigfoot ever? The story, the movement, and the body all fit together. The man thought he was shooting a big bear. Instead, he got something much worse. Proof that we share these woods with animals that have been hiding, watching, and waiting in the shadows the whole time. Something old and scary lives in the dark depths of Provo Canyon. You may have heard of the infamous Provo Canyon Bigfoot video from 2012. It went viral online, getting over 7 million views and making people feel uneasy. It turned out to be one of the most believable and frightening Bigfoot sightings ever recorded. But what most people don't know is much scarier.
I can't see it. Does he think it's a bear? You think there's a bear up here next to the deer? Yeah, we probably should be too close to it, huh? It's kind of cool though. Let's go.
A second witness went back to the same cursed place 2 months after the first sighting. What he filmed was even scarier than the first time he met them. This second Provo Canyon incident is one of the most terrifying modern Bigfoot videos because it shows a predator in its natural environment, aware that it is being watched. The video is short, a little shaky and grainy, but it's clear enough to show what shouldn't be there. It's not just what you see on screen that makes it so scary. It's also the witness's obvious fear. A single hiker was walking along the canyon trails above Provo, Utah, when he saw the creature. He was so scared that he started filming, his hands shaking, not knowing what else to do. At first, the huge Bigfoot walks across a hillside with a disturbing amount of confidence. After that, it stops, hunches down. It hides behind trees with careful, smart precision, like something that knows it's being hunted or something that is getting ready to hunt. The man's breathing gets rough and panicked. He shoots video from behind a weak wooden fence that doesn't really protect him. His camera is shaking. Then the creature suddenly stands up tall and throws a rock right at him. This is a violent warning and a threat to his territory that sends primal fear racing through his veins. The man doesn't think twice. He runs for his life. 2 months ago, the original footage shows a creature that looks very much like the one in the new footage in the same spot. A lot of people think it was the same thing that stalked those woods and claimed that land as its own. Some people say something even more disturbing, that Provo Canyon is home to a whole group of these creatures, not just one animal, but a whole family, a group of people. There are many apex predators in those forests, and they can see hikers from the treetops. These videos are some of the most believable Bigfoot footage ever recorded for 7 scary reasons. The setting feels real. The creature's movements seem unnaturally smooth. The camera work captures real panic instead of staged drama. The witness's terror sounds real and visceral. The figure's size and proportions don't fit human anatomy. It follows a documented pattern of sightings in that area, and most disturbingly, the videos don't make themselves look sensational. They just show what was there. No one has been able to prove them wrong in more than 10 years. Something is moving around in Provo Canyon, something that keeps an eye on things, something that keeps people out. What is hiding in those mountains? A new Bigfoot video that is terrifying people all over the world has come out. The video, which was uploaded on September 2, 2025, shows a powered paraglider flying over a deserted mountain range covered in snow. He had always looked for these lonely peaks because of their eerie beauty and dangerous winds. But this time, as he reached the top of a very tall mountain, he saw something that wasn't right. He saw the dark shape moving against the bright white snow from a distance. He was scared and curious, so he moved closer, his hands shaking as he turned on his camera. The slowed-down video shows what is hiding below. A huge, dark figure walks along the ridge, swinging its long arms. It looks like a person, but isn't. Its huge body, unnaturally long arms, and deliberate two-legged walk make it seem like something that is beyond human understanding. It looks like Bigfoot, but some people think it's something much worse. A giant. Even though science says that living giant species don't exist, stories about them keep coming up. Stories say that huge creatures live in caves in the Himalayas, deep in the wilderness of North America, and under remote Pacific islands where sunlight never reaches them. In the 1800s and early 1900s, newspapers reported on the discovery of huge skeletons in ancient burial mounds. These discoveries, however, disappeared without a trace. Some theories merge giant mythology with cryptid horror, proposing that creatures like Bigfoot represent surviving remnants of a prehistoric race, something that should have died out millennia ago but didn't. So what is stalking that frozen mountaintop? A giant? Bigfoot? Something worse? The video is very disturbing, and people are freaking out on the internet. It shouldn't be there, but it is, watching from the peaks where no one should go alone. Let's look at a very creepy Bigfoot picture that has been on the internet for years. It goes around and around, but no one knows where it came from. People who share it say there is no backstory. I've looked everywhere and found nothing, just silence. But the picture itself is very disturbing. The picture shows a brownish humanoid figure in the distance, standing still among the trees. It has unnaturally wide shoulders and a lanky but very strong body, something that shouldn't be possible. A darker color spreads across its chest, stomach, and face, making an unsettling contrast. But here's what's really wrong. Its head and face are completely bald, no hair, uncovered. For any Bigfoot, this is a strange and scary trait, almost human, but not at all. People say that Bigfoots are very different depending on where they are and who sees them, so this could just be another one of those differences. Or maybe it's something else entirely. What detail makes experts think this isn't human? The length of its arm. They stretch down to an impossible length, much longer than the average person. Unsettlingly primate-like. It's also very, very tall. It's hard to guess the height from this angle and distance, but some say it's between 7 and 9 feet. Not confirmed, but scary either way. The place is still a mystery, either on purpose or because it has been lost to time. It was probably taken in North America because of the trees and the land. But where exactly? And who did it? What happened to the photographer after they took this picture? This is scarier because there is no backstory, no background, no reason given. Just this one person standing in the woods, looking back at anyone who dared to take a picture of them. I'll let you know right away if I find out more. But for now, this picture is still an unexplained, very creepy mystery. Maybe it's proof that some things that are watching us from the wild want to stay hidden.
Got the same disease, you know.
Two friends set out on what should have been a normal adventure deep in the woods. They drove their off-road vehicles side by side down a quiet forest path, surrounded by tall trees and a heavy silence. This was their routine. They would leave civilization behind to explore beautiful remote trails that no one else went on. They decided to record their trip that day in the hopes of making good memories. They had no idea they would be recording something much worse. They were laughing and talking as they drove, completely lost in their conversation.
You go to a bar, you meet a girl who's got the same disease as you know. And he's got a talk show.
Then, out of the corner of their eyes, they saw something move in the dark. The driver kept his eyes on the winding road ahead, not noticing the presence hiding just a few feet away in the thick undergrowth. The video, which was uploaded in 2021, before AI technology could make things like this happen, shows something that can't be explained. When you slow down the video, you can see a creature that looks like Bigfoot running through the thick forest with ease. But its arms are the most scary thing about it. The left one sticks out in front of you at an angle that is so strange and ugly that it makes your skin crawl. The right arm moves so quickly that it looks wrong and too thin. Video analysts who looked at the footage came to the conclusion that no person moves like this. The biomechanics are all off, alien, predatory, and from another world. Skeptics said it was just a complicated hoax and that someone in a costume was just running through the trees. But the people who uploaded it still say the scary truth. They had no idea what was going on. They only found out about the creature later, when they looked at the footage again. They felt a growing sense of dread as they realized that something had been watching them, stalking them, and pacing them through the forest just out of sight. People who believe say that those arms that are bent in such strange ways are proof that no human could do the same things. Another thing we don't know. Another piece of proof. Another reason to be afraid of what is watching from the trees. In the dark, empty woods of Canada, something is hiding. On November 20th, 2025, a scary new Bigfoot video came out, and what it shows will stay with you. The person who uploaded the video put 2 trail cameras in the woods, one on a lonely hilltop and the other on a deserted hillside. The hillside camera only catches deer walking through the dark at first. Nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing to worry about. The camera on the hilltop shows something that shouldn't be there, though. A hairy, 2-legged creature appears through the thick skeletal plants and falling snow, moving through the background with an unnatural purpose. The thick undergrowth almost hides it, but its huge shape is easy to see, something huge moving through the frozen wasteland. The second angle makes the fear clearer. As the snow falls, it reveals the same tall, standing figure, hunched over and still on a slope, with only its upper body showing, watching and waiting. The domed head, strong body, and predator-like stance fit every scary story about Sasquatch. The landowner says that these cameras have caught a lot of strange things happening on his remote Canadian property. He says these creatures are always on his land, and the video seems to back him up. Canada has more Bigfoot sightings than anywhere else on Earth, making it a breeding ground for these giant 2-legged monsters. Some areas are known as hotspots, where these things are often seen. Could this man's empty land be one of them? Are his trail cameras really capturing something that can't be explained, like something that watches from the trees just outside the firelight? What do you think is hiding in those woods? The Blue Mountains are like a dark scar across the landscape, marking the border between Washington and Oregon. They are a vast wilderness of suffocating forests, bottomless canyons, and endless stretches where something huge could hide forever, unseen and undisturbed. For years, these mountains have been home to one of the scariest Bigfoot stories in America. Paul Freeman is at the center of that nightmare. Freeman found something in December 1991 that would haunt him for the rest of his life. It was deep in the frozen woods near Walla Walla, Washington. 3 pictures showed footprints in fresh snow, prints that shouldn't be there. Each impression shows something that looks disturbingly human, but is also very wrong. They're huge, much wider than a human foot, and their round shape makes them look very heavy. But the most disturbing thing is the clear, intentional toe marks that belong to something smart. People talked about Freeman's footprint evidence because the level of detail was so scary. The plaster casts he made over the years show toe movement, mid-foot flexibility, and faint dermal ridges, skin texture that would be very hard to make with simple carvings or rough wooden stompers. These anatomical details made serious researchers believe that Freeman had found something real, something that walks upright through those mountains at night. We don't know much else about these specific pictures, like if casts were made or what happened next. But Freeman spent years looking for this creature, obsessed with knowledge that went beyond belief. He didn't just think Bigfoot was real, he was aware, because something looks back at you in those mountains. This is another time when a trail camera catches something very strange. One day, an unknown animal came close to the camera and set it off. This animal is so rare that most people will never see one. The name of it is jaguarundi. The jaguarundi is one of the most scary small wildcats in the Americas. People who see it are often shocked because it doesn't look like a normal cat. It doesn't fit. This sleek, low-bodied predator stalks from central Argentina to Mexico, with small groups of them hiding in the southern United States, waiting. It's in the same family as cougars, but it's a lot smaller, about the size of a big house cat, but longer and stretched out, as if something pulled it from both ends. It looks very wrong. A disturbing mix of a cat, an otter, and a weasel, something that evolution shouldn't have made. It doesn't have any spots or stripes like other wild cats. Instead, its fur is two solid colors that aren't very nice, dark charcoal gray or rusty reddish-brown with a hint of blood. Jaguarundis hunt during the day, which is rare and not natural for cats. Most cats hunt at night, but the jaguarundi hunts openly in the morning and late afternoon, catching rodents, birds, reptiles, and insects with ruthless efficiency. Their long bodies let them slither through brush and chase prey through spaces that are too small for bigger predators to fit through. These cats are very secretive. Their size, color, and tendency to move low to the ground, almost crawling, help them stay hidden even in open areas. Even in places where they are known to live, sightings are very rare and only last a few seconds. They appear as a shadow and then disappear. Trail cameras are one of the few ways to catch these ghost hunters because they won't let people get close. This video shows one of the closest encounters ever caught on tape. Until now, I had no idea these animals were real. They're interesting, but also very scary. They seem old, dangerous, and wrong in some way. I'm thankful and scared that this man caught one on camera, showing that they are out there, watching from the shadows.